Geopolitics is like a game of chess, and Russia is moving its chess pawns. For the first time since 1991, Russia has now positioned its tactical nuclear weapons on foreign soil in Belarus. The United States, however, has been early to this game of Europe's nuclearization. As part of the NATO military alliance, the United States has stationed well over 100 nuclear weapons spread across 5 nations. France and the United Kingdom also have got their own nuclear weapons. The fear that the war in Ukraine could turn into a nuclear conflagration is not unfounded. Since the end of the Second World War, Europe has been one of the most secure and peaceful regions in the world. But the Russian invasion of Ukraine has changed the security calculus of Europe. And as things stand at this moment, no other region in the world looks as vulnerable to a nuclear holocaust as Europe does. Military alliances can guarantee your security, but expanding military alliances are the recipe for disaster. Without even realizing it, Europe has now become the playground of the big superpowers. On the 25th of May, Moscow and Minsk signed an agreement to deploy Russian tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. But if you thought this is the first time that a major military power has deployed its nuclear weapons on the soil of another nation in Europe, then you could not be more wrong. Because the United States has already deployed an estimated 140 B-61 thermonuclear weapons across 5 European nations in 6 different air bases. And in the event the United States decides to use one of these nuclear weapons, the nations hosting the American thermonuclear bombs become legitimate targets. For now, though, the United States has shrugged off the Russian positioning of the tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus.
So look, we've seen the report of Russia-Belarus arrangement and we'll continue to monitor certainly the implications here. We have not seen any reason to adjust our own nuclear posture. You've heard us say that before, nor any indications Russia is preparing to use nuclear weapons for Belarus. Speaking to that particular issue, this is yet another example of making irresponsible and provocative choices. So we remain committed to collective defense of the NATO alliance, and I'll just leave it there.
At this moment, there is no other continent on the face of the earth which hosts as many foreign nuclear weapons as Europe does. And these are nuclear weapons on European soil. But European capitals exercise little control on when they'll be used. And the longer the war drags on in Ukraine, the greater is the risk that nuclear weapons could come into play in Europe. Nuclear trouble could begin from the Zaporizhzhia power plant, home to Europe's biggest nuclear power station. But this nuclear plant is presently under the control of the Russians. Time and again, since the beginning of this conflict, Kiev has accused Russia of simulating an accident at the nuclear power station by firing shells and missiles. But what Ukraine has never been able to explain is why would Russia want to bomb a nuclear power plant that is presently under its control. Truth, as they say, is the first casualty of war. According to Jens Stoltenberg, NATO nations have already supplied 98% of all promised weapons to Ukraine for the spring counteroffensive. So the biggest challenge for Russia at the moment is to take out the top-notch Western weapons that have been pumped into the battlefield.
Tonight, the armed forces of the Russian Federation carried out a group strike with long-range precision-guided air-launched weapons at the ammunition storage sites of the Ukrainian troops. The target has been reached. All assigned objects are hit. The armed forces of the Russian Federation continue to conduct a special military operation.
Ukraine is hesitant to formally declare that its spring counteroffensive is already underway. But what is being witnessed are concerted attacks on Russian naval assets in the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. This video released by the Russian Defense Ministry that has since gone viral shows Russia destroying 3 Ukrainian naval drones in the Black Sea. But the Ukrainian Defense Ministry too has released a video of its naval drone hurtling towards a Russian ship before it rams into it. The longer this war drags on in Europe, the greater is the danger that not just Ukraine or Eastern Europe, but pretty much the whole of Europe could suffer a nuclear holocaust, which could be set off by mere miscalculation.